Hello everyone. I've debated today as to whether or not to do this video, but it's bothered me because I made a promise to somebody to do a canning video today that I'm not able to do. I have multiple sclerosis, and I'm very, very blessed because my mother had multiple sclerosis, and we believe from the symptoms described over the years, her father had multiple sclerosis. They walked, both of them, till the day they left this earth. So I feel very blessed to know that I won't end up in a severe condition like many people with multiple sclerosis does. I have relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis, which means that I don't have a relapse or symptoms always from a relapse daily. I typically had a relapse about every 16 months on average, and the trigger to my relapses happens to be stress, and I have had a great deal of stress this week, so I knew this was going to happen. But I decided to take you all on this journey of a relapse because I've noticed over the past 10 months or so in chat with the Marfugal family that there are a few people that have MS or a relative that has MS. So I decided, okay, MS sounds kind of scary, and to many people, they do get scared. Having the knowledge and the experience of seeing my mother and grandfather and how they walked and functioned, I guess kept me from being so afraid when I got my diagnosis. My neurologist was kind of shocked because I didn't fall apart, but I had that previous knowledge that she didn't immediately know about. So she asked me to do a support group for people that have a hard time with the initial diagnosis, and I agreed to do that, but a lot of people are so afraid. They just want to handle it in their own way. So the support group never worked out. I wish it had have. I think I could have really, with my therapy background, I really think I could have helped people. But we're going to do this journey. I decided it's okay, especially if it will help somebody not to be afraid. Now, today kind of stinks. You might ask why I'm home, not in the hospital, for anyone that does know anything about MS. Well, it's Sunday, and my neurologist won't be in. So I'm going to wait till tomorrow when she will admit me. I can't take the medications that stop the relapses. The old interferon medications that were metabolized through the liver, turns out I'm allergic to all of them. So those are out of the question. The new medications that they've come out with that are great, no needles, pill form, and listen, I have such a phobia to needles, it's ridiculous. So I wasn't really upset when I learned that I was allergic to all of the medications that were metabolized through the liver because they all involved shots. Some of them were EpiPens, others were different. So, and I'm just real needle phobic. So, anyway, I donated a kidney. This June will be, I think 14 or 15 years ago. And so one of those two. So I can't take the new medications because they're metabolized through the kidney. And it would be too hard on my one kidney. And I don't have any problems now, so I don't want to do anything to create any problems. I have been able to fairly successfully control my relapses, with stress being the trigger to my relapses, by just working on keeping my stress level down. Well, sometimes the world throws stressors at you through other situations that you can't control. And it's hard to then be able to control that. I left my job in February and have been unemployed since. And I had, some money put back, so that was good. And I had my preps, so that was really good. I cleared up my debt that I had, owned my home, owned my camp, owned my truck, and have for a few years now. So I don't have any real big debt. So that wasn't a huge issue. Thought I would have a job by now, but I don't know. That's another story. But anyway, I wanted to explain how MS feels. And when people will ask me about my relapses when I'm not having one, excuse me for licking my lips, I can think of a few of the more severe symptoms, but it's really hard to really describe it to somebody because I don't focus on it. So I've got these symptoms now. I can explain them to you. I am having difficulty talking. Not everyone has the same symptoms. Let's pretend that there's a spectrum of 100 symptoms. Anyone can have any different combination of those symptoms, which makes it really hard to diagnose multiple sclerosis. Mine typically involve, the easiest way to describe is stroke-like symptoms. My face feels numb. My lips are numb. My mouth gets dry for some reason. And it's very difficult even to control my tongue exactly to pronounce my words. Other than those symptoms, I have a sensitivity to sound, a sensitivity to light. I have a lot of muscle twitches. Anyone that was in chat with me last night saw I was having a difficult time texting. So sometimes it's hard to control my motor skills, my movement of my fingers. And basically my body just feels like there is gravity times 1,000. I feel like I weigh 1,000 pounds. It is difficult to brush my hair, brush my teeth, wash my face, to hold my hands or my arms up for any length of time, because everything is very, very heavy. And I sleep. I am so tired. I went to bed this morning about 4:30, 5, and that's another symptom. I'll have a period of insomnia and a migraine or two in a week. So I pretty much know, okay, that's a sign it's coming. But I slept till 3 this afternoon. I went back to bed at 5:30, and I slept until 7:30. It just wears me out to be up, to hold my body up. A relapse usually lasts 3 to 5 days, and typically I just sleep through those 3 to 5 days. I have worked and I have pushed myself through a relapse many times to keep from missing work because there was nobody to cover my caseload. When you do therapy, if you have a problem, the clients don't care. They just want their same therapist. So when I push through, it causes the relapse to last longer and be a little more severe. But if I just sleep and listen to my body, then it doesn't last quite as long. This one, and I have a swallowing issue. It's difficult to swallow, and I choke easy. And I have what is called foot drop. And my ankle will not lift my foot, my toe will catch, and I fall easy. And to be 5'2", man, do I fall hard. It's just like somebody will pick me up and throw me off of a 10-story building, just, to face plant. Oof, I'm always surprised that I don't leave a crater in the ground. But anyway, I don't even know what I was saying. Memory loss. I have some memory loss. I don't remember most of my high school years. I played a trumpet and marched in the band. I can remember practices. I can remember band camp. I do not remember one time that I ever marched on the field. I will remember very little of what happens this week unless I make myself notes. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But you can see I'm kind of slow motion. It's difficult to get my tongue to work to pronounce words right. For some reason, my face gets puffy. My eyes are puffy. I don't know what, what that has to do with it, but it's always like that. But I wanted you to see, it's nothing to be afraid of. It's just being really, really tired with a few other crazy symptoms that goes along with it for my case of MS. Now, for the more severe forms of MS, it's more debilitating, but most people do have relapsing, remitting MS. So I will go to the hospital tomorrow and let them call my neurologist and see what she decides to do. And we're going to document this for you all, and hopefully others will see it and will help them not to be so afraid. There's nothing to be afraid. You do the best you can to control whatever your trigger is, and then when you're going through the relapse, just listen to your body. And in my case, typically it's just rest. And with most everybody, that is the one thing with MS. It's just such a level of being tired that is hard to describe. So you rest. The world's not going to come to an end if there are things that you need to do today that you can't. You just, I have a heat sensitivity. I can't be out in the heat unless I'm around water. So I stay in the air conditioning. If I am cleaning house or cooking or canning and I become overheated, I have to cool off. If not, I'm going to hit the floor. I'm going to pass out. So you just learn to make, I can't get the shower too hot. I can't have real hot water. I was stressed and rushed, and it was Christmas Eve, and I was trying to get ready for my family to come, and jumped in the shower. I don't even remember what happened. And I fell out of the shower because I was overheated and I passed out. So you just, I have made different changes in my life to overcome what disabilities I do have. And I don't even remember on a daily basis that I have MS. I am me that has MS. MS doesn't have me. I have never let it control my every second of every day and get me down and keep me upset. I just roll with the punches. I just deal with whatever, I can do in a day's time and what I can't do in a day's time. And that's okay. So if you know somebody that has MS and you think this will help, share it. That's why I decided to document it. Typically, I stay in hiding, and if I disappear for a while, it's because I'm having problems with my MS, because I only want people to see me when I'm my normal self, which is bubbly and happy and rolling with the punches. So here it is. I do hope this helps, and I love you all. And Scott, I'm really sorry that I didn't get to do your canning video today, but as soon as I'm back on my feet, I promise that I will, and I will. So don't be upset. Please don't be upset. It's okay. I was diagnosed, 2012, December 5th, 2012. But we knew a few years before that's probably what was wrong with me. every time I had a situation, well, get an MRI. If this isn't a stroke, it's MS. And with my fear with needles, I would never let them do a spinal tap. So the American Medical Association changed the way to diagnose, and you don't have to have that spinal tap if you have so many documented episodes of relapses and the lesions show on your brain, then you can get the diagnosis without the spinal tap. My mother, unfortunately, had to go through the spinal tap. But my thumbnail is a picture of a lesion on the brain. And if you remember in biology, you know, they talked about the dendrites and the axons and the synaptic gap that the electrical charges go across your brain to send messages throughout your body. Well, there is a coating like a wire. If you imagine a wire that's covered in a plastic, you know, coating, they're either blue, red, or white, or green. That coating on the axons starts to crack, and it disrupts the messages that and how they're sent through the brain, and it will cause lesions on the brain, little circles on the brain. So my thumbnail is a picture of a lesion. I don't know how many lesions I have. Most everybody that I know that has MS knows how many lesions they have. But every time I ask my neurologist, oh, I just looked at your MRI, I forgot. I have to go back and look. She never has. But this time I think I'm going to, you know, I'm sure. I haven't had a MRI probably in 2 or 3 years. Because I can't take the medicine, I don't go to the neurologist often. So I'm sure she'll order an MRI this time. And I'm going to make her remember and tell me. So anyway, much love to everybody. I'm sorry the video has been a little long, but it takes me a little longer to process what I'm going to say and to pronounce my words, to get my lips to work. So I love you all. Thank you very much. And I'll let you know how it's going tomorrow. I hope you all have a blessed evening. Bye-bye.